Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Yes, welcome to the first segment of the day. There's going to be quite a few bits and pieces going on here on Cannon Fodder TV. Lo and behold, yeah, we're going to probably review some of the news we spoke about yesterday. There's been a certain anniversary today. Well, sad news, but we're going to be talking about a real legend at Arsenal, a real legend. All the stuff about he signed a thing, but this guy was a real legend, real legend. That's it for the fifth time, a real legend. But now I'm going to have my brother joining me as well. You can probably see in the other window there. But yeah, I've got lots of bits and pieces to be getting on with this morning. There's going to be a couple of pre-recorded videos in regards to a certain Man City striker who's heading for the exit door. And I tell you what, both Ralph and myself, we're going to be talking about that. So we'll see you guys on the other side of this music intro. Yeah, not leaving any stones unturned over here, man. Yeah, morning. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel, like I said, for Arsenal fans all over this world. The first segment of the day. Yes, man, it's going to be like we're going to be putting the pedal to the metal on this one. Morning, Ralph. How are ya?
So I had my mic muted. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, Alex. I'm on holds for the rest of the week. So I've got my daughter. So for the time being, I've got this time with you. And yeah, there's been a lot of things happening social media wise as well as anniversary wise as well. So no doubt we'll be cracking on.
Yeah.
You got your kit on? Where's Terry? You got your kit on?
Of course I have. Of course I have. Where's yours?
I can do a kit change halfway in if you wish.
Yeah, half time. But
Half
anyway,
time.
guys, yeah, make sure you subscribe to Cannon Fodder TV and hit the bell notification button so you can receive all the latest news on this wonderful channel. So I think we'll get into bits and pieces. And I'm not sure if you saw yesterday's Ralph. A certain person who was formerly on AFTV passed away yesterday. Claude Kagari passed away at the age of 58. I back in the day, I remember when I signed up to that big podcast channel over there, and I saw the guy who runs the channel. He spoke to Claude because Claude, I think, had gone missing, and he came and said they'd been suffering a lot of mental health issues and some problems in the family. And I know people have been speculating that he lost his life in that way and that way. I'm not going to speculate. But why I'm going to say, like I said yesterday, is that from everyone on Cannon Fodder TV, that rest in peace, Claude. And I know it's going to be a difficult time for your family. And our condolences goes out to Claude's family. Do you want to say anything on that, Ralph, at all?
Yeah, I saw the news yesterday and I was very shocked. When I first came onto this kind of like platform, it was pretty much on the back of AFTV. Let's just put it out there and being real about it. The way that AFTV and Robbie and his platform, the way that it kind of like paved the way for most of us. So for that, I say I'm
Not for me.
grateful. Not for you, no. I'm just saying for myself. I'm just saying for
Yeah.
myself because,
Yeah.
of course, in the early days when we started, I was looking at both the way that our channel was working, and the way that other channels were working as well. It wasn't just Robbie, obviously, but obviously pretty much paved the way for it to be on a wider scale. So I'm not going to dismiss that. That's not my nature. I say it the way it is. But for Claude and his family, of course, it's very sad. We don't know the way it happened, but I would say for Claude, he was an Arsenal fan through and through. And maybe some people, if you also go into YouTube and you look at the way that he conducted himself, he may have been very honest, very blunt, but I think he spoke from the heart. Um, he and everyone on FTV, they tackled situations and issues pretty much where we are at this moment in time with well-being. Well-being is the main focus at this time, and it's well-being that we need to understand. Also, the responsibilities of being on social media as well. So it's just a shame that it's come to this kind of point. I was actually watching GMTV, Good Morning Britain. Thierry Henry was on there, and it's talking about the responsibilities of social media as well. So we have to be more responsible, accountable, and transparent in what we do. But we also got to be more supportive to people who may be affected with mental issues, mental well-being issues. So, but yeah, our hearts go out to Claude. Like I say, at first and foremost, as an Arsenal fan, and that's the way we should look after all our Arsenal fans and every football fan and every sporting fan in the right way. But the well-being issue is the main thing. It's how you function, it's how your friends see you, it's how your family sees you as well. So yeah, condolences to the family, and let's try and be a bit more understanding about how important our words are.
I feel like I have to do a couple of corrections. I don't want us to mention any other podcasts by their name. We can just say that podcast, but I think it's unfair that we mention specific names of other podcasts on this channel. But what I will say, and like I said on many occasions when people ask me how or why did we create this channel, from my point of view, because you can see I do like the bulk load of content on this channel. From my point of view, it was Much Arsenal, Colin Munch, who inspired me to do Cannon for TV. It wasn't the other podcast, and we said so many on occasions that literally when I saw his content and he did Arsenal and Chill every Friday with Tops, I thought that is where I want to align ourselves with. Claude was a colourful character. I never met him myself, like I said yesterday. I know a couple of people in the Canon for TV WhatsApp group have said that they've met him, but I never personally met him. Quite a passionate Arsenal fan, but again, our condolences go out to I think it was his father who actually gave the green light for him to actually share what happened to his son. So yeah, really, really sad times. And again, I'm sure he's in a safe place away from all that negativity that life has to throw at us. But anyway, let's go on to the second. Actually, that was yesterday's news. Today, what we're talking about? Yeah, we'll probably talk about this chap here. If you guys remember him, do you remember him? Yes, William Saliba. Kevin Campbell has told another podcast that he would start William Saliba for Arsenal next season and put the fear into the opposition's eyes. Would he put the fears in the opposition? I'm not so sure. He's still unproven in the Premier League. Well, Arsenal legend and Sky Sports pundit thinks that Mikel Arteta has to provide the currently loaned out Frenchman with a chance next season. Saliba, we know, is currently out on loan to Nice, and upon his return, he will be hoping that he can fight for his first team spot. Campbell feels that pre-season will be very important for Saliba, and he wants the quick, strong, and aggressive defender to start alongside Gabriel. And I know we haven't heard anything about David Luiz being offered a contract extension. I'm hoping that's the way it's going to stay. I don't want Arsenal to offer him anything. No more money. Yeah, no more drinks. No more running out of training. Nah, even take the kit away from him as well. Ralph, your thoughts? Saliba.
Your own one. Yeah. For Saliba to whatever Campbell says, in the terms of thinking that Saliba's going to just walk into the team and he's going to take over, I don't think that's the case at this moment in time. We haven't seen enough of Saliba to make a really informed choice on where he's going to play. We know where we want him to play, but it's smoke and mirrors as far as I'm concerned. I haven't seen enough of Saliba to make an informed decision. And those who have been around or seen how he played since he's left Arsenal and on international duty as well, then that's all the information that seems to be out there. But I want to see him have some more game time, not in the under-23s. I want him to come in because that's what we got him for. We got him to be primed for our defence. And it seems rather hesitant at the fact that we got him, then we didn't play him. He's obviously all the comments he's left on social media because he feels he's ready, and somehow we've hampered his progression. There's obviously something there between Arteta and Saliba. Arteta, we said this before, that Arteta needs to start putting his faith into the youngsters. So he's a young lad. He joined Arsenal. He wanted to play straight away, and for some reasons we didn't put that in there, or the management team or the coaching team didn't think he was apt. So I think before we start, putting the cat amongst the pigeons, so to speak, let's just see how Saliba is when he plays in the first team. And that's pretty much where my opinion is at the moment. There's nothing to be gained by hoping unless we actually know what the full facts are. And I don't have enough full facts to substantiate the reason why he should be in the first team at this moment in time.
Okay, well said, actually, well said. But then again, I hadn't seen much of Gabriel, and next thing you know, he's at Arsenal playing alongside David Luiz, and it is no doubt he seems like he's quite strong, he's quite fast, and maybe it could work. It could work, the pairing of Saliba and Gabriel, but we'll have to wait and see. Next bit of news is in regards to this chap who someone reminded me had failed his medical, because at that time, I think 2 seasons ago, he was supposed to be going to Liverpool. Remember, serves me right. But anyway, Arsenal can sign Europe's best attacking midfielder if Edu was to reverse the £26 million transfer decision. Mikel Arteta has been tipped to bolster his Arsenal attacking midfield options with a sign of Nabil Fekir this summer, and there is evidence that it is a good idea. For me, no, absolutely not. Ribetis midfielder Nabil Fekir. I'll be very careful what I say there, is one of the top performing midfielders across Europe, top 5 leagues, and this according to the CIES Football Observatory, as the Frenchman who has been linked with a £26 million move to Arsenal, perhaps surprisingly, ranks higher than Premier League's Jorginho and Ruben Dias. But yeah, I mean, I did the video yesterday, or was it the day before yesterday? My thoughts are, no, keep hold of the money at Arsenal, and maybe we've seen Miguel Aziz play with the senior squad yesterday in training. So yeah, keep that £26 million, Arsenal. Don't waste your money.
Yeah, I'll back that as well. Again, it's one of those players that it's been touted, is there, but I haven't seen anything from him. There's no bells or whistles about this guy. There may be on other platforms, but for me, and let's put it this way: we said from the start of the season, we said midway in, we're 3/4 of the way over this midway section now, that we want to get rid of players on the books that are no longer, doing it for Arsenal for the lengthiest time that they've been at Arsenal. Let's start, diving into the rich resources of our youngsters. We've had quite a few youngsters there. We've shipped off quite a few youngsters on loan. So before we start spending money, let's get Arteta. I keep saying this. I feel like let's have the 11 players. Arteta's at top 11 with 11 course of subs. Then the potential maybes that still could function and be in the squad team, as it were, and he can pull in when he needs to, and get rid of those that are no longer of service. Get rid of the ones that don't do it. No matter how many times you've put them in the first team, you've got them in half time, you put them in during the last 10 minutes, whatever it is, whatever the formation and dynamics that Arteta had in his mind, and it didn't work out. If it doesn't work out then, it's not going to work out now. So your 11, your maybes, and then get rid, and then go back into the resources of your academy your young squad players and start pushing up the competition for places, because that will do one or two things. It will tell the 11, look, I've got someone literally on my back, and what I need to happen is poor performance, lack of consistency, and they're in my spot. And two, competition is everything, because when you've got somebody hungrier than yourself, then it raises your game, or you plateau and you go out. And again, it'll make the life of the manager a lot easier, because he will see, well, I've given you guys plenty of chances, and you haven't done it. You haven't done it. But I can see you potentially could do it for maybe another team, not our closest rivals, because we've had history of giving our players who may have been injured or been lack of form to our rivals, and somehow that sparks up their interest. And then when they come back, they play against us and they score against us. So let's be a bit savvy, you know. Our 11, the maybes, and then the ones that's got to go. But before we start spending any more money, save the money. There's nothing wrong with just holding the money back for a better investment that could come along after the Euros.
Yeah, yeah. Well said again. Well said. And the next bit of news, this one, it kind of a little smile on my face actually. Aguero to Arsenal. That's the latest news. Yes, Aguero is encouraged to join Arsenal as club. Well, ticks the right boxes. Sergio Aguero is searching for a new club after Manchester City confirmed that the striker will leave at the end of his contract this summer. And one Arsenal legend believes that the Emirates is possibly his destination. But what kind of got me thinking about this one, Ralph, is that Pep Guardiola, man, no call to give him, man. If he thinks you're over the hill, that is it. I'm gonna look at the goalkeeper situation when he first came to Man City. I think he got rid of 3 goalkeepers before he settled on the current goalkeeper. I'm thinking Aguero can still do a job. Age 32. I know he's kind of tailed off now. He doesn't get much game time. I'm thinking the guy, he can still bang in the goals. Still banging the goals. But again, what I'm going to go back to the fact is, like Pep Guardiola, in his mind, I'm sure his backroom staff or the stats will tell him a particular player, literally, they are on a decline, and you're better off getting rid of them. And rather than trying to flog a dead horse, get rid of them, sell them. Whereas at Arsenal, we're the other way around. We're trying to revitalize dead horses. It can't work. It can't work, man. But your thoughts, Ralph? Guardiola and Pep Guardiola just getting rid of players, man. You know what? If you're not good enough, I can see you're on a decline. See you later. See you later.
Well, it just goes into showing the way that managerial styles, how results driven they are, and they don't have any time to waste. I think when Guardiola came into to Man City, I think it was like the first 2 seasons, he was trying to get his feet, and he identified some of the areas. This is a manager who didn't mind dropping company at times as well, like the club captain.
Yeah.
So that just it goes to show you that the way that his vision for Man City was like, it's got to be perfect. Anything below that, I'm not going to waste any time. So he's got a lot of pedigree behind him, and with pedigree means that you have to take the tough decisions, and he's taking the tough decisions. But he's done it in the way that he's kept the team competitive. And look, they're up for about what, four trophies, potential trophies.
Yeah.
This
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I reckon that he could. This is how Guardiola is so good. His first 11, he can potentially take them off, put another 11 on, and they'll still be as competitive, if not more so, because they're hungry.
Brutal.
And where are we? Where are we with that kind of? If we had to put our second 11, so to speak, out, we'd be closer to relegation, let alone mid-table. So Guardiola is a person who's very, very single-minded. And I think Arteta has taken some of those aspects as well. because you know you've got to, when you learn from the best, there's some nuggets that you end up keeping. So I think that's what Arteta's trying to do at Arsenal. Um, the only assets that we've got, I think, is the fact that we've got a lot of young players, and Arteta's trying to mould them. But but you've got to have some experienced players as well. Man City's got some experienced players. So you know, no matter who you draw, look at Foden. Ben Foden's come in, and then he sits them out. If he feels that he's getting too much or whatever, he sits them out. So that team makes it more competitive. So we talk about heart, but also if you look at strikers in their 30s, Aubameyang being one, I think Lacazette is 28, 29.
Yeah.
29. So he'll be coming to the 30 club pretty soon. You've got Vardy and you've got Kane. Now, I don't like them down the road, you know that. But if I wouldn't take Vardy, because especially the way that it's very disrespectful. I think you've got to have a bit of class about those who want you. You know what I mean? If your contract's up and you say, oh, you know, I'm not going to Arsenal, blah, 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 rather than being a bit classy about it, I wouldn't want him to come to Arsenal now. And I think he's quite happy with where he is.
But sure, it's about, if you're just talking about strikers, surely you want a striker who's going to be delivering the goods. Forget about his attitude, what he said about our club in seasons gone by. If the guy can guarantee you minimum 25 goals a season, why would you not want that striker? Irrespective of what he said in the past.
Okay. I don't know Vardy in terms of personality. Of course, he bangs them in. He does bang them in. But if you're talking about personality, if you're talking about he's got a strong mentality, because of course that's why he scores. He is the Leicester's top scorer. But if you're talking about how you talk to other professionals, you said yourself about some of the youngsters that you don't like people with negative mentality, and I feel that Vardy potentially has that. It may be good to be a bit. You have to be selfish. You have to be toughened when you're a striker, because you've got defenders who are trying to take you down. You've got midfielders trying to take you down as well. If not, the whole team will try and take you down when you're doing your run. But there's also a bit of class that you have to go about it. Look at Kane. Kane he's very devious in what he does. I don't think he's mouthy or anything. And if he has been, then I must have missed it. But if we had a chance of going for Aguero, Kane, and Vardy as moments in time, then you said that you go for Vardy purely because he's banging 25 goals per season.
No, I didn't say that.
Well,
you didn't give me the choice. Given the choice between Kane, Vardy, and Aguero.
Yeah. So who would you?
I'll go for Aguero.
Okay. So, but is Aguero's attitudes like negative or anything like that?
I wouldn't say so. I know I've seen a couple of times when he's been substituted off, he hasn't liked it, and he has clashed with Pep on a few occasions. But you want that. You want players to show you that. But on the other side, the manager or the players must know that what the manager says, it goes. But given a choice between those three players, I'll go for Aguero.
Okay.
I'll go for Aguero. He's Man City's top scorer. He's the top scorer for a foreigner in the Premier League anyway. So I'll go for Aguero, given the choices, and then Vardy, and then the guy who plays for them not down the road.
Okay, so we're going a bit away from the point. So Aguero, yeah, let's if it's possible, and if it again, as much as we want that to happen, it's got to be symbiotic. He's got to want to be to be able to live in London. It's his family as well. All those little bits that we don't see, but it's very important for a player for him to be happy. So that's what I'm saying about spending money. The time that we gave Aubameyang that pay rise, as it were, that could have gone to Aguero. if Arsenal's going to start being as ambitious as they want to be. We've
Mm.
got 26 million pounds, so something I don't think that's going to be enough for Aguero.
Nah, the figure that's been spoken about is at 38 million pounds. I'm
Okay,
thinking,
if we,
yeah,
yeah,
I
okay,
would take a punt on that, Ralph.
yeah,
30,
yeah,
he's
I would as
32.
well. But you know
Mm,
what I'd do? I would say, right, you want 38, 39 million, and we take him now.
mm,
No messing about, no negotiations about any frills or whatever, because Arsenal has a historical history when it comes to contracts, and the what comes to mind is I'm trying to remember the name of that Liverpool player, the striker. I can see his face. We made a bid for 45 million plus £1.
Oh,
Um,
Suarez.
Suarez.
Suarez. Yeah.
42. I think it's 42 or 45 million and £1. Let's not go with that kind of nonsense. If you want Aguero, if you want to just pay a bit beyond, because that means then that you're serious and you want him. But again, it's got to be symbiotic. He's got to want to come to Arsenal. It's no point us getting these players and then all of a sudden 2 or 3 months down the line, he disappears. He's not playing the same intensity as he would have played for Man City, and then we have a potential Willian kind of attitude as well. You're talking about attitude. If attitude is important and Vardy is not of that attitude, but he's scoring goals, then that can't be good as well, because you're going to have younger players thinking, well, I can get away with X, Y, Z. So if Aguero's attitude matches that of Arteta, there's 3 A's there, then brilliant. Go in, put the money down the table, and it's got to be taken. But like I said before, the ambition of Aguero is that he's got to want to come to Arsenal.
Mm, mm. Well, it's going to be controversial. Very, very controversial for me, no, but maybe for some of our viewers. What we'll do, we'll put a poll up once we're done on this one. Would you take Sergio Kun Aguero at Arsenal? And for me, I would take him, but at a cost. What cost would it come at, Ralph? I'll be happy to sell Aubameyang and Lacazette. Take that hit there for Lacazette, because again, Lacazette brings more to the team when he's playing. Aubameyang doesn't bring much. If he's not scoring, you won't see him do much. So I'll be happy to sell Aubameyang and Lacazette if we could get Aguero paired with Bellingham. Hungry strikers. That's what we want, right? And with Aguero, right, he scores all kinds of goals.
Yeah.
All kinds of goals.
He's an everywhere striker.
He's multi-dimensional, whereas Alba is still one-dimensional. So I would take that hit. I'll take that hit, man. I'll have Aguero at Arsenal. I remember as well, Arteta was at Man City, so they've got that link there. But whether he'll go for him is another thing.
I would also want to counter balance that argument. Although Arteta knows Aguero, how often would Arteta speak to Aguero, and what's that kind of relationship looking like? And could he use that if they're at the table, the negotiating table? Could Arteta bring to the table the fact that he knows Aguero and how he will fit into his plan? Because again, like I said earlier, Arteta's got to have that 11. He's got to have that 11. There's no next season. There's no messing about. We're out. It'll be the Euros will be done and dusted. I believe it's a World Cup year as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if Aguero is Argentinian.
Yes.
Right. So how does Argentina figure in his plans if he wants to go for a World Cup? All those little factors come into play. If Arteta's got his 11, the next season it's literally going to be like no holds barred. If you lose to Burnley, if you lose to Crystal Palace, if you lose to depending if Fulham's going to be in there as well. Exactly, your team.
They will be there, mate. What are you talking about? They'll still be there. Oi, don't pass expressions on my second favourite club, man. I thought I heard the name Fulham.
I'm just seeing if you're paying attention. That's what I'm doing. But what I'm saying is that next season is important. We have to hit the ground running. We've got, we already got a few players that we know, how they play and the way they want to play. Odegaard going to have an extension to his contract? There's talks about Odegaard wanting to, that he wants to play for Arsenal. So again,
there's even talk about Auba, so that I'm going to try my best to make sure Odegaard stays at Arsenal. Come on, man. You're going to try your best. Try your best on the pitch, mate. Sorry, Ralph.
When I put the pass to you, then put the ball in the back of the net.
Ralph, sorry, I don't want to interject, but this guy, I don't usually go into the live chat until we've gone through all the live news. But Corey Porter, good morning, says, I'd like to see Aguero with Martinelli and Saka either side. What about that, Ralph?
That sounds amazing. But this is the thing with us as Arsenal fans. We get all these ideas of grandeur, as it were, and then when it comes to transfer deadline, we're all waiting. We'll formulate our plans of who we want our perfect 11 to be, and all of a sudden we get some player that we never heard of. He's quite young, right? He's quite young. He just broke into this team's first team or whatever, and we have to wait maybe a year to 2 years before he actually gets into the first team, and we're back to -1 again. So at this moment in time, I'm just calling it. It's great. It's good to have the space to be able to think about these things. But if we're going to get Aguero, all I want to see is him holding the shirt signed, and then we can start going into who we can play next with. But yeah, that's alone, that's a great force, and it's going to be at the expense of either Aubameyang or Lacazette.
Exactly. All right, and the last bit of news is an anniversary. Today is 20 years, Ralph. 20 years on the passing of David Rocky Rocastle. And all I'm going to say is, like in his own words, remember who you are, what you are, and who you represent. Those words, I mean, multi-faced, they can, in any generation, in any line of work that you do, those words are immortal from Rocky Rocastle. Remember who you are, what you are, and who you represent. I mean, our current crop of players don't come anywhere near Rocky Rocastle. Nowhere near him. There can be only one David Rocastle. And again, those words that are immortal, a true legend. He's left a legacy there. Wonderful. Do you want to say anything, Ralph, on that? Apart from the time that we met him and Michael Thomas as well in Wood Green, North London. Do you want to say anything?
I'm trying to remember. I thought.
Huh?
Go on. No, go on. You're saying.
No, I was going to say, because I prepare the new segments, what I want to talk about, and when I arrived at David Rocastle, I kind of got a little bit kind of welling up, because we were born in the same year. He would have been 55, no, 54. So I'm thinking, oh my goodness, yeah. But he left a legacy for Arsenal, for the youngsters to remember those words there. Remember who you are, what you are, and what you represent. But sorry, Ralph, go on. What do you want to say? Sorry, man.
I was going to say that when we bumped into him, or he bumped into us, I thought it was Tyrak. It wasn't Tyrak, it was Neck in Wood Green.
Yeah.
It was Neck. And he thought that I was a shop assistant. But this, you know what? Actually, it's. I don't think it's coincidental that we talk about it. I was watching a clip on Instagram. Ian Wright was talking about him and talking to Saka. Saka wears the number as well, and he was saying how two boys from Brockley. I remember going through Brockley back in the day as well. A friend of mine used to live in South London, and you just don't correlate the same kind of situations or where people are. You just see them wear the shirt, and you have a bit of an inkling. But the way Wrighty was talking about David, um, the way that he said that we're just two boys from a council estate and we're playing for Arsenal is the dream. And he said that he was in the tunnel, playing against, I think it was Norwich, and they both. Rocky said to David, "Look at us, right? We're here playing for this wonderful team." And I was choking up as well because I was just thinking, like, this guy, he was the embodiment of Arsenal. He was the pure embodiment of Arsenal. Yeah, I remember when he scored that goal against Man United and the ball hit the crossbar and it hit Mike on the back. And I remember actually, there was a pundit who's played for Liverpool. He said that how he was a really steel midfielder. He rode two tackles, and they tried to chop him, but he continued and he scored against them. And he looked back at this guy to say, like, thanks for trying to chop me down, but I still score anyway. That's how good he was. That's how good he was. But the thing I saw on Instagram, and this is what we mean about leaving a legacy. There's a David Rocastle Leadership Academy, which Arsenal set up, and it's to get young people into leadership roles, so then they become the best of who they can be. And I think that's one of the wonderful things that this club can do when it's directed in the right way. It's not just that we pay our ticket, we see a performance, and then we go home and talk about it. It's what happens afterwards, or it's what happens before that. How important it is for a club to be able to help the community. These are really challenging times as well, but to be able to say that you can have an academy that will help young people, so then in years to come, on this platform would be better for it. The club would be better for it. The people in the community, not just in the community, but around the world globally, would be better for it as well. It's a wonderful statement. And it comes through just us playing football and appreciating each other's, skills. So I was really moved when I saw that. And it makes me think that, it's great being on this platform, but we have to make sure we open it for everyone. And the leadership, embodies, appreciating what you have and leaving it for somebody else, because that's we're only custodians.
But you have to do your part rather than rely on other people, because if you rely on other people, and as you know, human beings, we let each other down. But for myself, I'm not waiting for anybody else. I'm doing the best that I can to leave a legacy, for my children, when I'm long since gone. And I already have a future or a vision of the future for Cannon 40 TV. But I'm not waiting for anybody else. I'm already sowing the seeds of what I see in my mind's eye for the future. Remember who you are and what you represent. Let's go into the live chat. Let's see who has joined us. I've seen the numbers like bubbling just below 30 at any one time. Of course, it's like 11:45. And actually, before I go into the live chat, there is my personal opinion about Arsenal being linked, or is it that way around? Is Sergio Aguero linked to Arsenal, or is Arsenal linked to Sergio Aguero? Which way is it, Ralph?
I would say it's Arsenal linking with Sergio Aguero, because we haven't heard anything from Aguero yet, have we? So it's in anticipation, hoping, but it's nothing confirmed as such. Yeah. So it's from our end out.
Okay. Good morning, Michael Knight. Is that Michael Knight? Knight Rider?
Hey, where's Kit?
Hi, Alison Gunners. Did you know Arsenal's looking to selling Oba to Real to stop Man U from getting him? Really? I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that. I hope we got a bit of money for him. That's what I'm going to say. Monty, what go on, Alex and Ralph and Cannon 40 family?
I didn't see my name there. All I see is Bob and Alex and the Cannon 40.
Monty, what happened to your guy, El Neri, man, refusing to come on the second half for Egypt, man? What's going on? I did a segment, was it yesterday or the day before? Mohammed said, no, no, no. They're trying to send him to rehab. He said, no, no.
That singing, Alex, really. That singing. El energy is preserving energy.
Yeah. Please give a thumbs up as you come in and subscribe. If you're new here, please join us, the growing family here on Canon 40 TV. And the assembled says, good morning, lads. Yeah, broadcast will rest in peace, man. Rest in peace. And there you go, Ralph. There you go.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Monty. Big love, baby. Big love.
There's McLeod. Morning, Alex
Hey,
Raz. Listen. Make sure you roll out the red carpet for us when we visit you up there in Newcastle. Yeah, Eltel, Ralph, and myself, man. Right at the red carpet. You want to say something, Ralph? Look, you want to say something, man?
I'll just hang on your every word, Alex.
All right,
No,
okay.
I'd love to go up to Newcastle. I've always gone beyond there because I used to I had a girlfriend who was Scottish, and we used to go up to Edinburgh. So Berwick upon Tweed was like, I think it's the closest I ever got to Newcastle. I've got one or two friends that actually live in Newcastle as well, so it'd be interesting to go up that part of the country and meet up with Des, because Newcastle's got a big following football-wise as well, man. They're a big club. But it'd be good to catch up with Des and to have a good night out, a good weekend if possible.
Yeah. Caleb, good morning. Says hi, Alex. The player that I want Arsenal to sign this summer scores 4 times in 2 international games. The player is Patson Daka. Caleb, I've featured Patson more than 5 times on the channel, but Arteta doesn't listen to me. And he wouldn't cost us more than £20 million, but Arteta doesn't listen to me. So we'll have to wait and see. Yes, Monty. Yes, Alex. Please don't forget to do the Canon player profile. I've already started to do David Rocastle's player profile, so that will be coming up hopefully later on tonight. If not tonight, it'll be tomorrow. And then I've got Pat Jennings to do, and then Cano. So there's a long list of requests. Give me time. But listen, I've got no excuse because I'm off.
It's not your work. It's a love. Because I see the amount of work into it. It's not work.
Yeah. Take the kit, Alex. I wouldn't say that, but I agree. No. Take the kit away from him, man. Doesn't deserve to be wearing the red and white of Arsenal. David Luiz, man. Nah, take the kit. Okay, never heard of him. Not for me, thank you. And either for me. I've never seen him play. I'm not interested. I don't want to see him play. I don't want to see him play. And the photos I've seen of him, he looks a little bit overweight as well. And of course, he's had like some injury problem. So no, thank you. No, Nabil Fakir, no, thank you. Des says, if Arteta gets rid of the players you want, if he doesn't use the kids, he will have to spend money in the summer. Which again goes against some of the fan base. Thoughts, guys, please, Ralph.
No, that's a good point. I think Arsenal has always tend to like spend money, but not dip into the resources. And which the buzzword, especially where I work at this moment in time, is sustainability. How sustainable is that as a business idea? The more money that you spend, but you don't get any money back, it's not sustainable. You have to look in your back garden to see exactly what it is that actually works, what could work, and what doesn't work. And Arsenal has had the luxury. If I want to go into it, we've had, I would say, from 16, 17 years, where it's okay. We've got the money. We'll spend, who we want to spend it on. The big transfers that we had, the number 10. We had some Chelsea players come in. We've had some Man United players come in. We spend big bucks on them, but have we won the Premiership? Have we won the Champions League? It's great having the historical foundation with the FA Cup. That's great. I would never ever want to tarnish that because I feel that it's where our history is. But if you want to be the whole reason of us moving, and we're going to start getting to this now, the reason why we moved from Highbury to the Emirates is to be competitive on the European level. So we spent money to go to that stadium to compete, and yet we're 10th at this moment in time. So that model has to be sustainable, and it hasn't worked. So before we start spending more money, let's get rid of the players that unfortunately can't do it for us anymore. Let's start let's start tapping into the resources of the players that can and are hungry enough to push us to that next level. And let's establish the 11 that Arteta's got to have. So when we start the next season, we hit the ground running. No messing about. No, this player's going to be on his last year of his contract. All those kind of distractions. Let's get rid of all those now. This is the time to do it. The time to do it is now. So then when we are ready to make a bid for an Aguero or for any other players, we've got the finances to back it up. Because Kroenke's sustainability, self-sustainable idea, I don't know, I can't explain it to you, but it's not working. And you've got Man City, you've got Chelsea, you even got Everton. These are owners who are willing to put money, and Liverpool. These are owners willing to put more money in because their business plan is working, and they can afford to do that. I'll put Man United in there as well. So before we can break into that top 5 or top 4, let's be a bit more savvy this time round. But we should have been savvy 16 years ago.
Dear. The Assembled says, with Arteta, you can't write Aguero as a rumour, as we've had Louise and William, but this should be thank you, but no thanks. The Assembled, why would you not take Aguero? Even if it was like for one season, would you not take Aguero just for one season? So come back before we finish on this one, please, the Assembled. I've got my brother.
If I can jump in on that point.
Go on, Ralph.
Sorry, if I can jump in on that. If you're not willing to put Aguero into the equation, why did we take Willian and Louise?
So there's a question for you. Yeah. So come back and I'm sure you'll come back with your response to that question there. I've got my brother with me. We've just been going over some news that we're going to be reviewing a little bit further on in this live show. Yes, it's a live show. This is not recorded. Live on direct from somewhere in Wales and somewhere in
Wales. Cardiff, the centre of Wales. Cardiff, live and direct. From a hidden HQ base in North London.
Ralph is out.
Eltel's in the witness protection program, so we can't see him.
Oh, Jeremy.
I'm only joking, Eltel, because I know that you've got part of the dark arts as well. So I'm only joking.
Listen, guys, we're going to take a pause for the cause. It might give Ralph a few moments just to change his top. See what topic he can change into this time. It might be, I don't know what you might come up with. Could be a rugby top anyway. But it's going to be like the promo video when we're talking about online digital services where we're offering you voiceovers, Ralph's voice that is, video editing, that's me, and a thumbnail artwork, that's also me. So see the other side of this promo video. As part of the Canon 4 TV experience and services, we're now extending out into additional online products such as voiceovers, thumbnail artwork designs and video editing for small YouTubers who have less than 1,000 subscribers. Voiceovers. If you need voiceovers for short videos, 30-second adverts, stories, intros and outros, then we can do this for you. Let us know the length of the voiceover and we will give you a polished audio file in less than no time. In addition to this, thumbnail artwork designs. As we pride ourselves on sharp HD thumbnail artwork designs, we can do this at a relatively low price. Send us your specifications and we'll produce eye-catching designs to attract subscribers and followers to your platform. And finally, video editing. We have a range of video editing techniques, special effects and software to produce a polished end product for which you can be completed in the quickest time possible. Now, if you would like help and support getting your channel promoted and your subscriber count going, then send us an email at arserepublic1@gmail.com. I repeat, arserepublic1@gmail.com. We are here for you, for the Canon 4 TV experience. Yeah, so we're here. We're here with you, for the Canon 4 TV experience. And again, if you're thinking that, look at Alex, look at Ralph, they've got the YouTube channel, I can do better than them, but how do I start? Then you need to come to us. Send an email, arserepublic1@gmail.com, and we can talk about the finer details. There will be a nominal fee because we've got to pay the bills. We can't live on bread and water. But first things first, send us an email and we'll talk about the finer details. So I've given Ralph enough time to change his top. Guys, which top do you think is the one most representative of Arsenal? Ralph's away kit or my kit? My top. Which one? We're going to put a post, reaction.
Doesn't matter what kit to bag.
Your Canon's facing the wrong way, mate.
retro, forward.
Yeah. All right, let's go back in live chat. I've got Monty who says, Aguero on a free. Christmas come early for any club that needs a world-class striker. He's still a world-class striker. Even on a one-year contract, they said, well, surely we can take him. Surely you will have him. Trendy Leo says that Arsenal should not be thinking about buying new players. We need to offload a number, like Ralph said, build quality from within, given we will have only be playing in the domestic leagues next season, because there's not going to be any Europa League next season. We've got enough distractions as it is. But basically, on the long lines, what Ralph's just been saying. Identify the players that we need to move on and sell and show them the exit door, actually that way over there. Not here in my house, but I mean like that way in the Emirates. And quite well said. Yeah, Ralph. Yeah. That way. Yeah. I'm looking the wrong way. I would take Aguero in a heartbeat. We should at least try to sign him. Ralph, do you think there's a limit? Because again, the figure I've seen is £38 million. So how high would you go? How high would you go?
I said 39. If the club is saying, look, we're giving you 30, on the table is 38. I would say, okay, 39, done and dusted. No negotiations, no backtrack. No, we'll go back to our client and see 39 million, because then what you've done, you've set your stall out. You said, okay, you come to me, you want 38, I'll give you 39, we sign the papers, it's done. That's it, end of. Because then it stops all the agents saying, oh, you know what, they've offered 38, I can get 40 or 41. And then he says, oh, I'm worth more than 41. What about 42, 43? And then before you know it, it's 50. It's 55. Or go ratios compared to how many times we won the Premiership. All those kind of like bits and pieces. Before you know it, it'd be 60 million. And then Arsenal start saying, oh, well, actually, we're back out. We'll have a look and see who else is available. And then what you've done, you missed out on all that time when you could have had it done and dusted at the earliest point. So 39 mil will stop all that nonsense.
Yeah.
And before you know it, he's in the press room with the shirt.
Okay. Okay. So I'm sure Arteta can he can do some dealings, man, because he's worked with Aguero at Man City. I'm sure he can sort something out.
But you know, Ali, I'll counter that again. We have to be very careful. Just because he was at the club with Aguero and he knows the majority of the players, from the time that he left to now, there's been a lot of like white noise. There's been a lot of like misdirections. There's been a lot of other stuff going on in there, and people's minds change from time to time. You know, we could talk the way that we're talking now, but then give it another week or two, the talk's going to be different. So, if Arteta is going to be consistently in Aguero's ear the whole time, then he'll have an idea of how he'll fit into Arteta's plans. But it's got to be constant. But I think there's been a gap. There's been a sizable gap, and it's a new relationship. He has to get back into his ear again. So I feel that for now, it's great having this chat, but if the board is purposeful and definite, pay the going rate and get the distraction out the way. And we know that Arsenal haven't done it in the past.
Wanted to remind everyone, 15 Goodness here with us. Thank you for your time. There's also goes on to say that he would take Aguero, and this is the first comment. Corey says that I'd like to see Aguero with Martinelli and Saka either side. There's goes on to say that rest in peace, Rocky. Can't believe it's been 20. Yeah, me too. The time has just. Where's the time gone? We're 20 years, man. My goodness. Alec, good morning. Says number one, no one can replace Rocky. Yeah. With all the players, all the legends, they're unique. They're unique. They cannot be replaced. And he's going to be a little bit cheeky. Alex, you look like William Gallas. I don't look like William Gallas.
No.
Monty, bar him. Put a block on. I'm only joking. I'm only joking. And then he wants to save his best for Arsenal, Alex. Hoping to start some games.
Yeah.
Let's hope we can see him sooner rather than later. And old favourite Ingers, good morning. It says, no to Aguero, give Bellingham a chance by Ollie Watkins, Edouard, even Patson Daka. Okay, it's a good combination there. No, Robinson says, who you guys consider Deadwood as this changes on who you speak to? Well, I think we said on many occasions, the players, it's the usual suspects, isn't it, Ralph? Your Shakas, your Bellerins, your David Luizes. Yeah. The list goes on and on and on.
It runs itself. I must admit, I will put Chambers back into that because the length of time that he took for him to get back to fitness and everything. But he's one of those players that when he gets fit, he plays well. And this is the most frustrating kind of like scenario for Arsenal. Is the fact that you get a player, he's injured. You get, lots of time for rehab. He comes back again. He's promising again, and then he gets injured again. And I think Ferguson was very kind of unrelenting in that kind of. If you're showing signs of like breaking down in training or in matches, and your recovery is not speedy enough because the team needs to be acting on full optimized energy, then I can't be thinking about you. And this is the really like cold part of football as well, is the fact that the manager's mind, it's all about function. How functional is my team against a really good team, and I can't be distracted with players who are injury prone. If they're injury prone, then we're not doing them a service, and we're not doing the team a service as well. So,
but Ralph, do you think that's a problem at Arsenal because we've got We've got mediocre players. Chambers, you're not sure. Is he going to make it? Is he not? Ainsley Maitland-Niles, you're not really sure. Joe Willock, we're not really sure. We've got so many mediocre players, and we're trying to hang on to them, thinking, oh, you know what? I don't know. Rather than making that decision, listen, for whatever the metrics are that we're using, it's clear this player is not going to make it, and make a definitive decision. But it's like we've got so many mediocre players that we're just trying to hold on to, and we're not sure. We're still not sure. Thinking, all right, give them till next season because we're still not sure. And next season comes, I don't know, man. Is Nketiah going to make it? We've got too many mediocre players, Ralph. Maybe that's the problem. We're just trying to again flog a dead horse it's not responding because it's dead. Maybe that's the problem.
I don't think we're flogging a dead horse. I think we've got an idea of a horse, and the horse isn't in the room. It's not there. We've got an idea of what it should be like, but that idea is not there at all. The metric system, I think, was it Gazidis who introduced it, the metric system, or whatever that terminology is. Of course, that no longer works. It's like using, I'm trying to think of a mathematical equation. Statistics is pretty much based on what you think is potentially right and wrong on a theory, but there's no practical behind it because it's there's so many ways that it can happen. You can bend it to your will, so to speak. Okay, you can say that statistically, Xhaka is a good midfielder, but then you have to do a comparison to anyone else in the top five, and you think, well, actually, no, he's not. Statistically, he's the worst midfielder. So that's the way you can use statistics and the metric system. So the way that I see it, we've got so many. I have to go back again with Wenger. Wenger was a manager that wanted to encapsulate the best of people, but he didn't want to focus on the bad side or the negative side of people, because what it was the fact that he hoped that those mediocre players would become better because there was better players around them. But what he did, he got rid of the better players, and then the mediocre players had to step in line and fill those gaps, and the gaps was too much of a gulf. Hence the reason why we were the top four, but we weren't competing. Hence now, since he's gone, and we had two managers in, that we've dropped out of the top four, and we're in 10th place. So metrics, mediocre players, that's the reason why we are where we are. If I can put one other argument, when Cantona played for Man United, they weren't the force that they were potential force. When he came in, he gave them that steel, that kind of belief, and when he left, they became champions of Europe. They found their title, and they won the titles away. If you remember the Premiership, when Man United won the Premiership, it was like, oh God, another year again of where we're going to end up. It was only when Arsene came in and he upset the status quo, that's when we started competing, and that's where we should be. We should be competing. We shouldn't be just settling with metrics and this mediocre player is okay for now, because that's what's put us backwards.
But just going forward, I just thinking we have to do something. We have to do something different. We can't be doing this, things over and over again and expecting something to change. It's not going to work that way. We have to come with a different approach, and it starts at the top, Ralph. It starts at the top, and it has to filter all the way down. I've got Colin. Oops. Right. Alex says, what is a limit for a club to sign players? What you mean in monetary terms or the number? I'm not sure. What do you mean, Alex? What do you mean? What is a limit?
I don't think there is a limit as such, depending on your resources, your financial resources. But then I think what you've got to do is you've got to balance the books. If you want to squad a 30 and you got 40, then you have to get rid of 10. You have to get, which if it means just taking them out for on loan or getting rid of them, so then you can balance your books. But I'm not sure if there's a potential limitation on how many squad players you can have.
Okay. And Colin, welcome all the way from the United States. Says hello, Alex and Ralph, and good morning to you as well. Colin, hope you're well. Alex, it's good to hear you and your brother having a laugh. Well, we almost always have a laugh. We have like our differences, but as you can see, he's wearing that what he's wearing, and I'm wearing the classic top.
Okay, so the classic top, and then the top that put us into FA Cup, league, and established some really, really household name players that can never be replaced.
70s.
Yeah.
71 double winning. No, it wasn't.
Hey, you're talking about my time as well. You came in just a little bit late after that.
Yeah, but we're talking about the tops, man. You know what I mean? Come on. Pick up fine 1979. Yeah, no, there's a 3 minute.
Hang on, 1970. We wore yellow and blue, bruv.
No, but not that strip, geezer.
Oh, not that strip. Everything come. I was looking at the evolution of the Arsenal kits, and I have to try and pin it down. I did do a search, but it's amazing how the kits have come along. We played in blue. I don't regard blue as our color. Of course, Alex wears the red and white, but for me, the away kit should always be yellow and blue.
Exactly, and nothing but that.
Nothing, not black and pink. Not magenta and whatever it is. The bruised banana strip, okay, I can live with that because it's become iconic. The away kit should be, if you're going to have 3 kits, red and white, yellow and blue, and a mixture of red and yellow or whatever it is, but nothing away from that because it's just
too far removed from the history. All right, okay. Let's see. To Arsenal, mediocre means save money. Yeah. You're saving your money, and like the demise of the club. The forever decreasing the history of Arsenal. We need a new owner. Why do you think Arsenal have gone up and down in the league and are playing better in the U League? In the U League.
Europa League?
Europa League? That's what he means, Europa League, isn't
it? We've been tested a little bit in the Europa League, but listen, we've got it all to do against Slavia Prague. Let's not take anything away from the way that they treated Rangers, Rangers players, so to speak. Let's take it a match at a time. We've got Liverpool first and foremost. So, but the league, we could do so much in the league, but we didn't do it consistently. We've become a little bit harder to beat. Hence, the 3-3 draw against West Ham. But it doesn't take away from the deficiencies of the fact that we should have put, at least in our 4 matches, we should have had the game won by half time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Alric Harris, good morning. Says, I strongly believe Arteta is doing a good job because we all know a lot of the players are not good enough, and he gives these players a chance, and they are not good enough. Then he shouldn't play them. If they're not good enough, don't play them. If you know they're not good enough, we are currently in 10th position because you keep playing those players. Don't play them. That's the way I see it anyway. And why was VAR not being used in England's matches? I have no idea. I saw 5 minutes, actually less than 5 minutes of England versus Albania, and I just turned the TV off. So I've got no idea why the VAR is not being used. No idea, Ralph. What about yourself? Because you wore the England top the other day, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, but I didn't watch the match. I don't really watch the qualifiers as much, unless it's not being disrespectful to any of the other countries. But Yeah, VAR not used in it's just farcical. It just goes to show you how UEFA and FIFA, the governing bodies, are. When they sit around the table, I think they have the most interesting conversations they probably have is about what they're going to have for lunch and dinner rather than any footballing real interest. And I would encourage any FIFA or UEFA official who probably go past this channel, if they do, if they don't, well, it'd be good if they did, to actually come up and say to us exactly the reasons why they don't put VAR in such major tournaments, because they invested money into it. What's the point investing in money for something that you don't value? That's a waste of money. It's a waste of time. So as far as I'm concerned, I think they sit around the table and just talk about, boots, um, grass, and eat and drink to the heart's content, and that's it. I don't see them as a proper governing body, and I would invite any. I'll put it out there. I'll invite any UEFA or FIFA representative to come to me, come to fans, and say what they do. What they do. They'll probably say, "Oh no, you can go to a website. This is what we do." No, that's lazy. Actually, come out and talk to the people and tell them what you do and show some transparency at the end of the day.
Mm. Just quick off. Did you see the interview with Thierry Henry on BBC Two?
No, no. I mentioned I saw Good Morning Britain when he's talking about social media, but I didn't see the BBC Two interview.
Okay, probably need to kind of check back on a replay or catch up. Let's go through this last one before we wrap it up. Aldrich Harris says that if we get a good coach that can coach, we'll not need his players. So why do we give Arteta a hard time with these half good players? I give him a hard time because, just said a few months ago, if you know this player or these players are not good enough, then you shouldn't be playing them. We've got 32 now squad players. There are alternatives. If they're not responding to your instructions, or if you know in your mind they're not good enough, why would you make a rod of your own back and play these players? You shouldn't be playing those players because you've got a bigger squad of players to choose from. That's my opinion. Ralph, do you think Arteta does get a hard time? But don't play these players. Don't play them.
Yeah, I think he gets a hard time because I think our expectations as Arsenal fans and what we envisioned compared to what he actually does is it's like that. There's a gap, and we don't know what his mind is until he selects his 11 and until they execute his plan or part of his plan on the pitch. And you heard one of the players mention that they didn't listen to Arteta for the first half. Sorry?
It was Lacazette who said that about the players. Right, they didn't.
Yeah. So that goes to show, I can talk as much as I can, but if you're not going to take my instructions and then you'll find yourself 3 goals down, well done. Now go and fix it. I don't need to say anything else now, do I? You didn't listen to me. You got hurt. Now it's time for you to now you know what I'm trying to say to you. Go and fix it.
But that sounds harsh, man. Now don't fix it.
but this is it now. When your high profile players says that should be a marker in the book to say, okay, so I've given you an instruction, you've decided to go against me, so therefore I'm not going to play you for the next match. Or I'm not going to play a few of the players for the next match. And then when we're in training, because I've seen some of the training videos, I said I'm not going to watch one. I saw one this morning because it was on the same feed on Instagram. Aubameyang done a really nice one-on-one of a goal. And I think, okay, let me see if you're going to do that on the pitch. And if it doesn't come off, you've put pretty much, you've aimed the bullet at yourself. So Arteta has to be. This is where we say he shows a bit of naivety. I wouldn't say inexperience. I would say naivety. he's naive as such. Maybe I'm wrong in that assumption, but he's got to know. He's got to know. You know, it was with the best for a few years, so he's got to know. So
Exactly.
if you've given instructions and your player don't pick them out, then I will pull the Lacazette aside, and I said, "What do you mean by that? You've given the media pretty much, you disrespected me out there after I told you what to do. So now don't expect me to have to pick you even when you're on your best form
Mm,
until you start showing me some respect."
mm. Deary me. Des says the bruised banana kit is the best strip ever. LOL. I never had it myself. Alex says, what do you think about the third kit? Well, the third kit, like Ralph just said, we are traditionalists. I guess maybe we're just showing our age, but we just think it's the third and the fourth kit are just money spinners. There should only be two kits, the home kit and the away kit. The colors Ralph is wearing, that is the traditional colors of our away kit. Is there really a need to have a third kit? No, there isn't. Apart from trying to raise more income for Stan Kroenke's pockets. But yeah, I mean, I understand literally the history behind it, but I don't agree with the third and the fourth and the fifth kit. And I kind of said in a serious tone last week that if Arsenal was going to bring out two home kits in one season, we would still go out and buy it because we're so gullible. We're very, very gullible. Pressure from the children, and in these times of the pandemic, the coronavirus, and people losing their jobs, and companies going out of business. Surely we must be thinking about saving our money rather than buying a fifth and a sixth and a seventh kit. Don't be so gullible, people. Save your hard-earned cash for more important things. The kit can wait. I mean, look, this is from the mid-70s, and now it's a classic top. It's a classic top, but it still means the same thing. Arsenal. It still means the same thing. Where's that soapbox now? I'm off the soapbox.
Have you just come off
Who are you going to play then? What do you mean? Who are you going to play? What do you mean? What do you mean, Aldrich? Who are you going to play? Give us some more information. Who are you going to play? I don't know. We can't be complacent against Slavia Prague. Sorry for shouting. Were you shouting? I'm shouting. It's in case Arsenal players are watching. Just want to get my message across.
Well said, Des. Well said.
Nice one, Des. All right, let's see if we can wrap up this one. Oh my goodness, the comments just coming in, Ralph. Oh my days. Kelly Life, good morning, says Arsenal should buy many players to improve the squad. No, they shouldn't. They don't want to spend the money. That's why they employ Arteta. You should not blame Arteta because
Because of the wonderful things he does.
How do we know that they buy players this summer? Well, I'm hoping they don't buy any players. It should be getting rid of the players. Eric Harris says, like every other coach who was a coach in Arsenal, they never get the players they need. That's true, actually. I think. Oh, let's do this one. Good morning, Patrick. He says, hi, gents. If we're honest, we've only got a few players that will get into the top four teams. Kieran Tierney, Partey, Saka, on a good day, Auber.
On a good day.
Nobody else? Kieran Tierney? No, Emma Smith Rowe, Ralph? Emma Smith Rowe? No?
Yeah, Emma Smith Rowe.
Yeah, but he hasn't put him down, has he?
Martinelli.
Martinelli? Patrick, what's wrong with you, mate? What's wrong? Just one more. Vedish, good morning. Says, hi, bro. Arsenal versus Liverpool. I don't think Arsenal are going to win the match. You know why, bro? Because same style of playing, same players to play Shaka and Bellerin. Tired to see them play.
We keep that.
Okay. Before we end up this one, I'm going to quickly just mention again this 90-second video. Actually, I'm not going to mention it. Ralph is going to mention it. Ralph is going to mention it. Go for it, Ralph.
Okay, so as you've seen out there, the financial landscape's changed. People have been furloughed. Businesses have suffered through this COVID-19. I've been quite fortunate in the sense of where I work, but there's other people who haven't been that fortunate. So what we say is that there's a financial incentive, and this incentive could literally change your life and your lifestyle. So have a look at this 90-second video. It can make all the difference between just living on a wage or having potential financial future, not just for yourself, but for your family as well. These things aren't taught in school. There may be one or two banks that are trying to do this, but when you think about it, if you look at the way that you have and earn money, there are different ways of earning money, and this is one of them. So have a look at this package. 90 seconds is all it takes to change your financial future, not just for yourself, but for your family. And then you can come back to us when you're successful.
There you go. Right and direct from the horse's mouth. Anyway. That's right, yeah. That's it. That's it. Not so much for today. Like I said, there's a video coming up in roughly an hour's time. My thoughts on the situation with Kun Aguero. And there's another video. I can't watch the other video, but it's just kind of gone. But I'll be back later on the evening. Say again?
Kanu?
No, it's kind of like it's a couple of weeks' time, man.
Okay.
It's Rocastle. That's it. David Rocastle will be coming up later on tonight. If not tonight, it'll be tomorrow. But me, myself, and I'll be back later on this evening, giving you some more live news on this wonderful channel. I know there's some more comments in live chat, but listen, we've got to end it. We've been going for an hour and 20 minutes. Hour and 22 minutes. Okay. And boy, has it gone so quick. So very, very quick. So those of you kind of tuned in for the first time, make sure it's not the last time. And if you've been wondering who or what you've been listening to, well, you've been listening to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world.